song, and I wanted to bring you another word. I noticed a gem in this one and I think you'll like it. I've been looking at the Star Wars symbolism. I've been watching Casey's work on Enter the Stars, and he's doing a lot of work, so you should go over there and look at his videos for more background on this. But he doesn't do the gematria, so I left him a comment about this one because I think he would like this one, but I don't know. I don't know if he feels like it's not right to look at the gematria. I'm not sure. But what I want to, so I'm going to try to do a better job of explaining these. I realize I might be skipping some steps, and thank you for your comments that help me explain things better. So, this is basically a simple gematria, which means all of these letters have steps in the alphabet. So this would be the 6th, the 15th, the 18th, the 3rd, and the 5th. And most of the time I write these underneath, and then sometimes I reduce them right away. And this is called the digital root. And that would be, so 9 would be the digital root of R. Now this word, and I do like to try to make these, I usually try to sort the gematria in either a raw gematria, where I take alpha and omega. I go from the outside in, like a circle, and that would be because Ra's sign is this, and so it's a very circular sign. This is the 12 on the outside, and this is the 13 in the middle. So that would be called raw gematria when I take the outside to the inside. But then the inverse would be to take the inside to the outside. And so here, since I can already tell that this has a an interesting number on the core, and also because I worked this out on another piece of paper, I'm going to take it from the inside to the outside. So what I'm going to do is show you this in kind of a Vesica Pisces type of, let me make sure see if I can see this. Okay. Vesica Pisces type of gematria. So sorry, my circles aren't very round. But what I'm trying to show you is that these are kind of like, these are hieroglyphs. This one I'm not going to write the hieroglyph up, but I'm going to show you how how I think these words are actually created in a circular way, in the way that they share their numbers, almost like how an atom has a nucleus and then it has electrons, you know, around the, like they say the nucleus has protons and neutrons, and then you have, you know, your electrons. But then if you learn, you know, how you learn it is that these are more of a potential field. These aren't actual orbits. You can't predict where they are at any time. And so it's a quantum wave, and then the observer collapses the wave. So I think that they created these words to be the same. So this would be a 6 and a 15. In Pythagorean gematria, which is one of the gematrias that is used by Zach Hubbard on his channel, he takes a lot of the letters and takes them straight to their Pythagorean, which in which case this would be a 6 here, because the digital root of 15 is also a 6. Okay, so this one is a 3 and a 5, and so this would add together to be an 8, and that's usually how I tell you which letters I'm adding together, and this would be a 21. So if I was going to make a hieroglyph, I would look at the letter symbolism of these to try to see if it was saying something about the upper and the lower dome or something like that. And I might look at that, but I'm going to try to just do this straight, because so now if you say there's a lot of apple symbolism in our world, like, you know, the computer apples and the iPad goat apples, and the idea of the torus field. So in line, and the torus field's also an astana, so in line with the idea of the torus field and the core, and the torus field is also the eye shape of our world, then this side and this side, you could picture it as spinning like the fields of the atom. So basically your 21 and your 8 would combine, and that would be a 29. Okay, but if you reduce the 29, see, I don't have a place to write it because any place I write it I'm going to collapse the wave, but if you reduce the 29, it's an 11. Do you see that? Maybe I'll write it right. No, that'd be in the core. All right, I'll just say 21 and 8 is a 29, and that the digital root of that is an 11. Well, here again, we have a 911, but it's in a toroidal field form. Now, I thought this was really interesting because in the movie, you use the force, you use the feeling within, you use the truth within you to navigate your life. And if you do that, then you are a Jedi and you're powerful. And the idea that Casey has talked about is that he uses the word Jesus and I use the word Yahshua, that Yahshua taught us to access our inner knowledge. He didn't ask us to go to church and follow someone who went to Bible school. He wanted us to pray in the privacy of our lives and seek our most humble inner truth and follow that faithfully. He didn't tell you to go to church. And what that symbolizes is your inner truth comes through the pineal gland. And so the way that Casey says it is that Christ was crucified on Golgotha, which is the skull, between the two thieves, which in other scripture says that your eyes are thieves. So you can see it in terms of brain symbolism, where he is crucified between the two thieves. And I'll draw the cross. I found the globus cruciger. The globus cruciger has a cross in the back, but in brain symbolism, this is the optic chiasma. This is where the information mixes. So Christ was crucified between the two thieves. So he represents the pineal gland, the inner truth, the inner knowing, and the access to what you would call the Father, which is your connection to the higher realms through your pineal gland. So that is interesting because it really ties in with the Force, and it's very interesting. Casey has done the work, and I've watched it, and I'm not sure about it. I'm just going to credit him with, he says that Yahshua's birthday was 9/11 in the year that he was born, and you need to go and see all of that. And I haven't replicated or verified that, but I think it's a really interesting idea. I know that December is not Yahshua's birthday. And there's a lot of hoopla about this day, and Casey says that the reason why they're killing people on this day is to mock Christ, which kind of goes with the whole Roman theory, right? That's what they do. So, but in terms of this word, the Force, it talks about using your inner knowledge, and not only that, but it has this 9/11. It's almost like the 9, which is the completion, or I guess you would say in Egyptian mythology, this would be the Ennead. This would be the 8 original sound, the 4 original sounds and their opposites, plus what the Egyptians don't say, the Christ, but they mean the first creation of these sounds. So it would be the 9 plus the 1, the 8 plus the 1, which is the first creation. These are the Ogdoad. This is the 4, the sounds of the Ankh, A-N-K-H. See my Ankh video. And they're sounds, letters that represent different aspects of early creation and their opposites. And then it would be the first creation, and that's the 9. So it's interesting that would be the 9, plus we also have the manifestation number that I've talked about, where the B is the pregnant woman, and the R is the birth. It's the manifestation. So it's interesting that this number is coming through the center with kind of like a field potential of 11 as a gateway on the outside. So I thought that was really amazing. So I wanted to bring that to you. And then my other interesting question about this is, because when I look at Hollywood, I always think, did the good guys make this movie? You try to use the symbolism to figure out, what are they saying? Are they and if George Lucas is saying to use the Force, and he's tying the Force to Christ's birthday, that almost makes me believe his story about how he had a hard time getting the movie published. So that's, for me, I guess it's kind of hopeful. Tell me how you feel about that. See what you think. Let me know in the comments. Hope you like this video. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.